Breaking news right now in Washington, Attorney General Merrick Garland making some remarks right now. He's joined by his Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark. Let's listen in.
30s. At the same time that the federal government was constructing this monument to justice, it was instituting a profoundly unjust nationwide real estate practice known as redlining. Redlining is a process by which lenders deny services to individuals in a neighborhood because of the race or national origin of the people who live in those communities. Redlining has its roots in programs that were designed to make home ownership widely available for the American people, but that purposely excluded minority neighborhoods from accessing those benefits. Much has changed since the federal government engaged in Depression-era redlining, but discriminatory lending practices by financial institutions still exist. Unfortunately, redlining remains a persistent form of discrimination that harms minority communities. Lending discrimination runs counter to fundamental promises of our economic system. When people are denied credit simply because of their race or national origin, their ability to share in our nation's prosperity is all but eliminated. We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has launched an initiative to combat modern-day redlining. Along with our partners at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, we are also announcing our first settlement under the initiative and our second redlining settlement in the last 2 months. Redlining contributed to the large racial wealth gap that exists in this country. The practice made it extremely difficult for people of color to accumulate wealth through the purchase, refinancing, or repair of their homes. That discrepancy in wealth is clearly reflected in current home ownership rates. Today, a white family is 30% more likely to own a home than a black family. This present-day gap in home ownership rates is larger than it was in 1960. When lending institutions deny or avoid providing loans to minority communities because of the racial or ethnic demographics of the relevant neighborhoods, they contribute to these inequities. Such lending practices also violate federal law. The Justice Department has authority to investigate and file fair lending lawsuits under the Fair Housing Act and the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. These laws prohibit lenders from discriminating against customers on the basis of certain protected characteristics like race, religion, age, sex, and others. Today, we are committing ourselves to addressing modern-day redlining by making far more robust use of our fair lending authorities. Through the Justice Department's Combating Redlining Initiative, the Civil Rights Division will partner with the U.S. Attorney's offices. They will mobilize resources focused on making fair access to credit a reality in underserved neighborhoods across our country. The initiative represents the department's most aggressive and coordinated effort to address redlining. It will seek to address fair lending concerns on a broader geographic scale than the Justice Department has ever done before. The initiative will draw on and strengthen the department's existing partnership with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and with financial regulatory agencies like the OCC. Our work will be informed by strong outreach to consumer advocates, industry stakeholders, state attorneys general, and other agencies. Together, we will proactively seek to determine if lending institutions are engaged in redlining, and when fair lending violations are discovered, the Justice Department will act.